when a beautiful toucan in Costa Rica had her beak badly damaged by a group of reckless kids, modern technology stepped in to give her a second chance at life. Toucans are known for their bright colors and, most of all, their large, striking beaks. But those beaks aren't just for show. They help toucans eat, stay safe, and interact with others. So what happens when a toucan loses that vital tool? That's exactly what happened to Grisha, a toucan from Costa Rica. It was a warm summer day when a farmer in a quiet countryside village spotted a group of rowdy kids in his fields. Right away, he knew they were probably up to no good, so he rushed out to stop them before they caused any damage. But when he got there, he was shocked by what he found. He yelled for the kids to leave, and as soon as they saw him coming, they scattered in every direction. The farmer stood there, puzzled. His crops looked untouched. So what had they been doing? That's when he heard a faint noise coming from one of the bushes nearby. Curious and concerned, he stepped closer and gently pushed the branches aside with his hand. And there it was. Lying quietly at his feet was a bird. At first he couldn't quite tell what kind. But then, with a heavy heart, he realized it was a toucan. The reason it took him a moment to recognize her? Her beak was almost completely gone. Without wasting a second, the farmer took off his shirt and gently wrapped the injured bird in it. He carefully carried her back to his house, knowing she needed help fast. As soon as he stepped through the door, he called out urgently for his wife. When she saw the toucan, she gasped in horror. Who could do something so cruel to such a harmless animal? The poor bird's beak was so badly damaged that the entire top half was missing. Tears filled the woman's eyes as she knelt beside them, heartbroken. Thankfully, aside from the beak, the toucan didn't seem to have any other major injuries. Right away, the farmer rushed into town to let his neighbors know what had happened and to spread word about the terrible attack. The other farmers didn't waste a second. They showed up at the house right away, offering help in any way they could. Thankfully, in this case, the good fare outnumbered the bad. As they cared for the little toucan, the locals started calling her Panchito. But they all knew she needed more than comfort. She needed real medical attention, and fast. That's when veterinarian Carmen came into the picture. She heard about Panchito from some farmers passing through her area and didn't hesitate. She jumped into her car and headed straight for the village. The 2-hour drive was one she'd never forget. Carmen had been told about the damage, but part of her hoped it had been exaggerated. Sadly, it wasn't. If anything, it was even worse. As soon as she got to the farmer's house, they brought her in to see the bird. The moment Carmen laid eyes on Panchito, her heart dropped. She was furious. How could anyone do this to such a gentle creature? The damage was shocking. She sat with the farmer and his wife for a while, trying to steady herself, and then gently placed Panchito in an animal carrier in her car. To keep her calm during the ride, Carmen gave her a mild tranquilizer, then hit the road again. During the drive back to her clinic, Carmen couldn't stop thinking about it. The cruelty of it all, how she was going to physically help the bird, and how justice had to be served. That 2-hour ride gave her plenty of time to form a plan. Back at her practice, Carmen got straight to work. She put Panchito under anesthesia and carefully cleaned up her injuries, doing everything she could to reduce the bird's pain. After a while, she slowly woke her up. But that was just step one. The next step was holding someone accountable. That's when Carmen's team started spreading the story online. They shared what had happened to Panchito, hoping others would care. And they did. Big time. The post went viral, and before long, the story caught the attention of the authorities. An investigation was launched, and the kids responsible were caught and brought to justice. It was a small victory, but one that mattered. The story shocked people. Not just what had been done, but the fact that there were consequences. It sent a clear message. Still, even with justice served, it didn't change the reality for Panchito. Carmen had made her more comfortable, but a toucan without a beak was still facing a hard life. How could she eat properly? Stay safe? Be herself again? That's where something incredible came in. 3D printing. Once called Panchito, the little bird was now lovingly named Grisha, and her community wasn't done fighting for her. When Carmen learned there might be a way to give Grisha a new beak, her hope came rushing back. The only problem? Money. But the village stepped in once again. Through local fundraising, they gathered enough to get Grisha a 3D printed beak made just for her. It was a way to give her a chance at a more normal life. It didn't happen overnight, though. It took time, planning, and coordination. Carmen reached out to 3D Systems, explained everything, and the team there immediately agreed to help. The process was officially underway. They teamed up with the ZooWave Animal Rescue Center, along with a group of dentists, local designers, and nanotech experts, to create a special biocompatible beak just for Grisha. Everything was custom-made to fit her shape and needs perfectly. First, they scanned what remained of her original beak to build a detailed 3D model. Then, using those scans, they created CAD designs and sculpted the final shape in a program called Geomagic Freeform. Once the design was finalized, it was printed using a selective laser sintering printer, which created the upper beak out of strong plastic. Before they attached it, the team made sure it would fit properly and function the way Grisha needed it to. They ran checks, looked at how it moved, and confirmed it would hold up. Once everything was ready, the new beak was carefully fitted onto her. It had a soft white color, which made Grisha look even more unique. Today, Grisha is one of the most loved animals in all of Costa Rica. The team at ZooWave says she's like a new bird since getting her beak. One day, not long after it was attached, they heard her singing, something she hadn't done since the injury. It was a moment that said more than words ever could. She was truly feeling like herself again. Thanks to 3D printing, a toucan who had nearly lost everything got a real second chance at life. Grisha's story has been shared far and wide, on social media, in documentaries, and among animal lovers all over the world. It's opened people's eyes to the terrible harm caused by animal cruelty, but also to the hope that comes when people come together to do good. Her journey reminds us of the power of kindness and how far technology has come in helping not just people, but animals too. It's a reminder that even in a world with problems, there are still folks out there who care enough to make a difference. We're so happy Grisha got the life she deserves. If her story touched you too, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below and tell us what part of her journey meant the most to you.